Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today and giving me this privilege to address you. At this time, I'd like to ask our City Council members to stand up and be recognized. Vice Mayor Darcy Paul, Council Member Rod Sings, and Council Member Barry Chang. Unfortunately, Council Member Stephen Shah is not here today, but I thank you all for being here today. And we roll video. It was Michelangelo who once said, "Every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it." Similarly, every wedge of clay has a piece of pottery within, waiting for an artist to set it free. What will it be? A tall vase, a shallow platter, a round bowl? We have to work hard and listen. So this begs the question, what do we want Cupertino to be? What vision is hidden within us, waiting to be given form? We know a part of what Cupertino is, a city with great schools, a home to some of the world's largest and most influential companies, a community that prides itself on its diverse population. Yes, we can eat samosas, kimchi, wontons, burgers, pizza, and sushi all along the same street. We've opened ourselves up to new cultures and embraced the slogan to think different. Although we may look different, speak different languages, practice different religions, we are a community with a shared identity and common goals. In Cupertino, we care about the environment, about our children and their future, about living a healthy lifestyle, about those at risk or those who are in need of a helping hand. And I believe deep within me that love will always triumph over hate. Maybe I'm living a dream. If I am, don't wake me up. Instead, dream with me. Dream of a world filled with more kindness, more understanding, more caring. And then go out there and make it a reality. We will shape our community with our hands, our actions, our voices. We do not live in a perfect world, but I believe each of us has the capacity to create positive change. We don't need to accept the status quo, but the process for change will be long and will take time. But nothing that ever mattered was built overnight. The only way we'll ever see change is if we accept our responsibility in the process. We need to roll our sleeves up and get dirty. If we want to see change, it will take action. Action by all of us. I know you have it in you. I see the fire in our community. I'm amazed every day at the energy, the vision, and the compassion I see throughout our city. So I encourage you to use that energy, focus your vision, and share that compassion by becoming involved in something bigger, more beautiful than yourself. Like clay, I see this wonderful city being sculpted every day by those who live here, work here, play here. It's one thing today, but it's constantly transforming and will look different tomorrow. As a famous Chinese proverb says, we mold the clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness within that makes the vessel useful. I ask you to join me as we sculpt the shape, chip away the rough edges, add the glaze, and use the fire within us to create the Cupertino we want and know it can be. Thank you. I did make that pot myself. I'm so happy to look around this room and to those watching at home and some in the overflow room and see people who obviously care about this city. You're here because you care. As you saw in the video, the pot that was sculpted is a representation how we all, by our actions, form an inclusive culture of understanding. And as the proverb says, it's what is put inside the pot that makes the vessel useful. I'm sure many of you have heard the story of the professor who brought a vase to his class and asked if the vase was full. The class said, "Let's see." He added some rocks. "Is it full?" They said, "Yes." He added sand. "Is it full?" They said, "Yes." Then he added water. You see where this is going. So the point is, as long as we take care of our major priorities, there's always room for more ideas from people like you. I'm looking at you, our residents, our volunteers, our organizations, business owners, to let you know that this expression is for you. You voted us in to represent you, and we take that responsibility very seriously. Do understand that you are a huge part of this Cupertino community. We may be the decision makers, but we'll always look to you for your thoughts, feelings, and ideas. Cupertino is a city that you've chosen to live, work, and play. So we ask you to join us and create a Cupertino. We all know what it can be. It can grow to be what we know it can be. I know you will be there because I saw many of you at the recent council's goal-setting workshop on a Sunday. So thank you for being there. One thing I really love about Cupertino is how we come together to celebrate our rich cultural diversity. However, I've been increasingly concerned about the negative and demeaning ways immigrants, Muslims, women, and the LGBTQ community are being talked about lately. I've been contacted by several residents that are concerned, and they are asking for our leadership in addressing this issue. As mayor, I'm asking Cupertino to consider taking a stand by creating a policy that protects human rights. Declaring our local support for human rights signals that this community will not tolerate hateful discrimination. Thank you, that really gives me goosebumps. In order to show our humanity, we also need to be there for those who have hit rough times in their lives by giving them a helping hand. The city can do everything on its own. That's why we need an organization like West Valley Community Services to help those who have fallen through the cracks. West Valley offers a food bank, a housing program, emergency financial support, and education. It also really warms my heart here to share information on an upcoming program that WVCS and St. Jude's are putting together. The church is opening its parking lot every night to homeless families and college students. With the help of WVCS, a few families and some students from De Anza College will be identified to take part in this pilot program. I thank them for their service to our community. I'm sure you're all really proud to be part of this community, which is why I wanted to start with that. Today is about celebrating Cupertino and recognizing what makes it such a wonderful city. A wonderful attribute we all have in common is that we want to retain the high quality of life we come to associate with Cupertino, balanced with a strong commercial industry and robust economy. And that is what I want to focus on today. We take great pride in our history and preserving our historical assets. We hold sacred our safe and quiet neighborhoods. We are proud of our excellent and nationally renowned schools. And we make sure to offer programs and services to our youth and our aging community to promote independence, socialization, and wellness. Whether we are a resident who volunteers, a city commissioner, a business owner, someone who runs a nonprofit, or a city council member, I believe we all care about delivering the greatest good to the community. And now I want to focus a little bit on the various departments of our city government. For the city, part of delivering on that promise to our residents is ensuring we make the right financial decisions, both in the short term and long term. That's why City Council and staff are dedicated to creating cautious budgeting. Okay, I know you're thinking on a full stomach, great, Savita is going to bore us with budget talk. Yes, I am, but briefly. I promise this will be short and educational, short like me. If you're like me, a resident who's blessed to live in this beautiful city, you probably pay a substantial amount towards your property tax bill. I understand, I receive those bills too. But if you look at this slide, you will see where your money goes. I'll leave it there for a second for you to digest it. So, it went away, okay. So now you know, see how great our video crew is, we got it back. So this really tells you where your money goes. You now know that the city receives only 7 cents for every dollar you pay in property tax. Yes, that's a penny, that's a nickel and 2 pennies. Cupertino is what's termed a low-tax city, meaning it receives the minimum allocation allowed by state law. Due to this low-tax status, it is imperative that we serve you efficiently and use fees to recover costs and supplement tax income. The reason for that is the founding members of Cupertino had the philosophy that city government should be small and efficient, yet meet the essential needs of its residents, such as paying for public safety, which you heard earlier, maintaining and improving the city's roads and infrastructure, overseeing development, and addressing financial liabilities. Cupertino operates with a relatively small staff with many functions delivered by contract, such as the Santa Clara Sheriff's Office. One of the greatest aspects of the city's contract with the Sheriff's Office is that we receive first-rate protection and service at a much lower cost than if Cupertino had its own police department. And you saw exactly what that meant earlier, so thank you all for being here. Cupertino continues to remain financially sound. Given short-term development over the previous 2 years, one-time windfall in taxes were used to upgrade the city's streets and infrastructure, as well as technology upgrades. As the night follows day and rain follows sunshine, we know that recessions follow the good times. And Cupertino has seen some very good times these past few years. However, experts do agree that we may hit a mild recession or at least a slowdown in growth in the next year or two. But I'm happy to report that city staff has been aware of this, and for some time they've already prepared for the worst. We have healthy reserves. Our reserves are about 60% of our general expenditure. That's spectacular. I'm so proud to say that here today. 60% of our general expenditure is our reserves, which will continue to allow the city to provide the services our residents expect uninterrupted. For more, please visit www.cupertino.org/opengov, and you'll learn a lot from that website. Now, it takes a lot of intelligent people to run a city, and we are lucky enough to have these people in our administrative services department, which includes finance and HR. And I know I saw Christina Alfaro, our administrative services director, here. Christina, where are you? Please stand up. Can you and your staff please stand up? Please give them a round of applause. Yeah, you got the nosebleed seat. Sorry about that. But let's thank Christina and her team, who in my view do very important work with very little publicity. Maybe they like it that way, but I outed them today. Development. development has been a huge topic of discussion in our community, particularly within the last year. And Valco has played a big part. Valco. Everyone has an opinion as to what to do with that property. Although both measures C and D did not pass at the polls, residents from all sides do want to see it revitalized. At this time, the city is still waiting to receive new plans from the developer and is looking forward to a collaborative process with our community, which includes a citizens advisory committee, an idea the council moved forward at its goal-setting workshop just this past Sunday. So we are going ahead with it. We are going to form that citizens advisory committee. And here is what I do know. I would like to see people who have the best interest of Cupertino in their hearts to participate in this process. Valco has become a center of our collective consciousness. It's been a gathering place for families and friends, and we'd love to see it revitalized. This brings me to the definition of community development. It's a process where community members come together and generate solutions for common problems. We are all in this together. It's said that it takes a village to raise a child. I believe it also takes a village to run a village. But when we're all at work with our families, who takes care of all our needs? We have our community development department to oversee the day-to-day details of the development in Cupertino. Here in Cupertino, we have tasked this department with ensuring sustainable development, economic opportunity, and collaborative planning, among many other things. 2016 kept our planners very, very busy with several big projects. 2017 looks to be a lighter year, with a drop in large-scale projects and a sustained level in smaller residential and commercial projects and renovations. But let's discuss some of the things that have been going on. Let's start with the big apple in the room. Apple Park, formerly known as Apple Campus 2, that is. Construction has been progressing, and Apple expects to have partial occupancy by spring. There will be approximately 3.4 million square feet of office and development space, a 1,000-seat auditorium named the Steve Jobs Theater, of course, a central plant, and a fitness center. Apple plans to begin occupying these buildings in April and complete the move by the end of the year. Let's take a look at how the campus has progressed. That's in our backyard. Wow. I think it deserves a round of applause. Speaking of Apple Park, we have housing approved at the Hamptons next to the campus, which will provide workers with the ability to walk and bike to work. The Hampton site is identified in the housing elements as a priority housing element site. The project proposes to replace 342 apartments with 942. The Hamptons project will also bring additional community benefits, such as $7 million towards our civic center and an additional $7 million for the 280 Wolf interchange, an extension of recycled water line to the project, and will share the cost toward the establishment and operation of a transport demand association that will go towards funding community shuttles, something I'm sure you all will appreciate. Another project which had its grand opening in September 2016 was Main Street. Since the approval of Main Street Cupertino, construction for the retail portion has been completed, with the majority of the spaces occupied. The office and flex space, which houses small businesses, are 100% occupied. Having a project like Main Street provides identity and a gathering place for residents and a place to host community events. Other uses that are to come in the upcoming year include a 180-room Marriott Courtyard Hotel, 120 apartments, and a half-acre public park, in addition to the already built town square. Also in September 2016, I told you 2016 was a very busy year, the Planning Commission approved an application from Target to remodel the existing store on Stevens Creek Boulevard. The project includes a complete revamping of the interior to be more responsive to new shopping trends, solar canopies in the parking lot, a new curbside pickup area, an outdoor plaza, and plenty of landscaping. The City Council also approved the Marina project, which was identified as a priority housing site in our housing element. The city is looking to find new ways to get information to our residents, so you don't always have to be here. And we have a couple of very exciting new additions to our platform this year. One feature is a 3D modeling tool in our geographic information system, better known as GIS mapping feature. It gives residents and property owners a 3-dimensional imaging on what can be built on their property, based on the city's ordinance, of course. Another feature we hope to bring by the end of this year is an easy application that will allow residents to find out projects that are going on in their neighborhood and the city. We hope this brings City Hall activities closer to our residents and gives them additional tools to stay connected. Please see this video.
Over the years, the city zoning map has looked more or less the same. In keeping with the latest technology, the city is incorporating 3D mapping to bring zoning to life. The city is working with Esri, international mapping and spatial data experts, to bring next-generation urban planning to Cupertino. This collaboration includes the development of a 3D parcel viewing app, which provides a citywide view of existing conditions in 3D and allows us to see the city in a new way. The tool offers our residents an opportunity to explore their community and see what's on the ground today. By visiting the Planning Division's front counter, residents can travel to a specific neighborhood or a special area of the city right from City Hall. We can search for a parcel by address, parcel ID number, or by navigating to a specific location directly from the map. Once a parcel is selected, we can generate current applicable zoning regulations. The solid black lines represent the minimum required setbacks and the maximum height. Within the bounding lines, the tool illustrates a generic building form that maintains consistency with the development regulations. We can apply modifications to certain criteria, such as adding a second story or increasing the rear setback for larger outdoor spaces. At the end of the journey, we can provide a PDF that captures the designed home and lists out the proposed and required development regulations. In collaboration with high-tech innovators such as Esri, Cupertino's GIS and planning divisions work to provide residents an enhanced understanding of development regulations. We hope these tools empower our residents to visualize the many opportunities we have to shape our city.
So I hope you all will look forward to that, and if you are making any changes in your property, use that tool. We are high-tech too. I've spoken a lot about development, primarily in the sense of construction and buildings. But I did want to discuss a different kind of development, and that's an amendment the City Council made to the city's beekeeping ordinance. The ordinance had previously prohibited beekeeping within a majority of the city, but bees are very important to our ways of life. One theory says that if bees disappeared, mankind would only have 4 years of life left, pollination and all that. But this amendment provides more reasonable and flexible regulations to support and encourage urban beekeeping and the production of local honey. Community Development Department collaborated with the youth of the Cupertino's Rolling Hills 4-H team to develop regulations for this ordinance. And the kids came to the City Council meeting and they were spectacular. So more power to our youth. And all of this doesn't even touch on the day-to-day activities of our community development department. R.T. Srivastava, I know you are here. I can see you. There she is. And if you and your staff can please stand up, we'd like to thank you for the work you do for our city. Yeah, they're camera shy, but now they all get the hang of it. I'm going to talk about public works next, so get ready. Now our public works department has the most tangible projects. We can usually see what they're doing in real time, and when they are doing it, where they are doing it, and what they've accomplished. Maybe it's resurfacing tennis courts, changing our city-owned streetlights, or taking care of storm drains. We just heard about the emergency preparedness. During the recent rains, Public Works was extra busy clearing all fallen trees and landslides. I've heard from several people applauding the response time of this team, so kudos to Public Works. Public Works takes on a lot of responsibility for the design, construction, and maintenance of the city's infrastructure. What does that include? Public streets, sidewalks, curbs, gutters, storm drains, trees, street lights, signs, public buildings. Whew, just saying that feels like a lot. And I don't know if I went with the slides, maybe I went a little too fast. Speaking of a lot, did you know there are 139 miles of public streets in Cupertino? That would be enough roadway to get us all the way from Cupertino to Sacramento with a few extra miles to spare. Taking care of this incredibly important network of roads is quite the undertaking. But our Public Works department makes it look easy. Last year, the Cupertino's Pavement Management Program was selected as the winner of the League of California Cities 2016 Outstanding Local Streets and Roads Project. That's quite an accomplishment. So why did the city receive this award? In 2016 alone, over 40 streets of varying length throughout the city were paved with more than 25,000 tons of asphalt. This work was preceded with replacement of 6,000 feet of concrete curb and gutters and over 275 new concrete accessible ramps. But the good work didn't stop there. They also planted 447 trees at 368 new locations and cared for an additional 3,000 trees across the city. The Cupertino community has decided long ago that ensuring a sustainable future and creating a healthy place to live, work, and play was important, and that should be a priority for the city. That's why Cupertino City Council adopted a climate action plan in 2015. The plan defines strategies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, as well as provide energy, water, fuel, and cost savings for the city, its residents, and business owners to further improve Cupertino's already high quality of life. Many of our city's departments are doing what they can to fulfill this plan's priorities. So what did Public Works do this year to help fulfill this plan? Let me count the number of ways. They achieved 75.8% litter reduction, surpassing 60% state stormwater requirement for 2016. They expanded network of electric vehicle charging stations to include Quinlan Center and the library parking lots. Launched a Safe Routes to School pilot program, partnering with 6 schools in Cupertino to develop strategies to improve student safety and encourage walking and biking to school. It's healthy for our kids if they bike and walk. They engaged 5,000 community members in environmental stewardship at 9 events and received a national award for municipal stormwater management, green infrastructure, and innovation from the Water Environment Federation. But our city didn't stop there. As a community, we are convinced that climate change is real, and city is dedicated to being a better steward of our planet. In addition to the wonderful efforts by our Public Works, our Sustainability and Environmental Services divisions helped Cupertino become the first city to take action to establish and join Silicon Valley Clean Energy. bringing a community choice energy option to Cupertino residents and businesses in 2017. Thank you, and this started in the year Rod Singh was mayor. This will provide cleaner and greener electricity. For the first time, residents and businesses in Cupertino will have more than one choice of an electricity provider. SVCE, a new nonprofit public agency, will begin servicing all our customers in 2017. SVCE is chartered to source renewable and 100% carbon-free electricity at competitive prices. I think it's safe to say that we are in good hands with our Public Works and Sustainability and Environmental Services Division. Tim Borden, are you here today? And your staff and the environmental staff, please stand up. Please be recognized. Thank you for all the work in maintaining our beautiful city, and especially in this last storm period. Thank you very much. They also got an award from FEMA, so that means something. Okay, now let's talk about our recreation department. Last but not the least, they like to be called the fun department. And they really do have all the fun. They offer camps, classes, and programs in everything from badminton to 3D design, bilingual music to gymnastics, karate to watercolors, and so much more. Much of this takes place in our incredible city facilities, like the much-loved McClellan Ranch, Blackberry Farm, the Sports Center, the Quinlan Center where you are sitting, and the Senior Center. All this is offered to create a positive, healthy, and connected community. And although they offer these services to every group, there are two that are closest to my heart, youth and seniors. And you all know I ran on the platform of youth, environment, and seniors. For the youth, I said I wanted to promote safe, fun places and programs. And I'm really proud to say that our very own recreation department exceeds my expectation for offering these things. Along with providing safe and fun spaces, the fun department also oversees a teen volunteer program. This program provided 2,700 hours of service throughout the community at various locations: West Valley Community Services, McClellan Ranch Preserve, Live Oak Adult Daycare, and the city's environmental programs. And their summer camp programs experienced a significant increase in their enrollment. And on a side note, I'm very proud to say that we will have a youth incubator program in our city very soon. Why? Because I believe every student, every idea, and every startup has the possibility to do great things and shape our future. And our city council, I am so proud of our city council, has agreed to look into this program as well as a senior mobility pilot program. We have a very active senior population in this community, but sometimes we leave them stranded due to a lack of regional transportation. So we are dedicated to at least partly solving the issue with local effort and with the support from the county. I hope to achieve both these goals this year, and with the support of the City Council, we really will. And with the help of the Fremont Union High School District, we hope to get that incubator program going soon too. Okay, now back to our fun department. We know we can always improve. Luckily, those in charge of the recreation department know this too and are in the midst of completing a new master plan. The fun department has embarked on a project to create a long-term vision for how parks, recreation, open spaces should be managed in our city. The city has contracted with a firm that specializes in creating master plans such as ours, and we will be looking forward to the year 2040 when this comes through. Not the plan, but they are looking forward to 2040. This plan will be driven by desires and input from you, our community members, to best determine how parkland is the right amount, what kinds of programs are needed and desired, and how best to preserve our natural environment. Also, do you want a community theater, a cricket field, an all-inclusive park for those special needs children? What do we want? So think about that and participate. This is both very important but also incredibly exciting. Together, we'll focus on themes that will ensure our parks and recreation programs are inclusive for all our members of the community, maintain the aesthetics of our city, and also ensure parks and recreation continues to be a driving force in the economic vitality and livability of our city. And the plan expects to be completed in mid-2018. Let me take a moment to thank our recreation team. I think they do a wonderful job of bringing joy, education, and wellness to the community. Can our Recreation Director, Jeff Milkers, and his staff please stand? Thank you, and now that people know you, they're going to come to you for Memorial Park reservation and not me. I get called all the time for the calendar of Memorial Park, so now they know whom to go to. I've talked a lot about various departments, but this is what our city is. I've told you about our city in less than 30 minutes. But don't think that's the last you'll hear from us. The council and staff are dedicated to ensuring that our community has access to timely, engaging, and important information. So make sure to visit our city's website, www.cupertino.org, and every once in a while we'll have updated information there. And we also are having a new website before the end of this year, and that will be more intuitive and allow for easier access of information. So do visit us there. And do open our newly revitalized scene. We are so proud of that. It comes into your mailbox. That newsletter is full of useful information, including a robust community calendar to let everyone know what's going around town. And also take time to read those official postcards and letters that the city sends to let the neighborhoods know about the projects going on in your area. I know they're very easy to chuck in the recycle bin along with your junk mail, but they have important information on them that will make you a more knowledgeable resident. The city also has a very strong presence across social media. So make sure to follow City on Nextdoor, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. See, I told you we have a strong presence, except you won't have me tweeting at 5 a.m. When I step away from this lectern, that's not the last you'll see of me. You will see me again. Our dedicated staff and I have a mission of being out in the community. You may see us tabling during Fall Festival, Earth and Arbor Days, and other events. But now we'll also be at our farmers' markets. Come by and visit us. You'll see our commissioners and staff, because we are all there to communicate to you. And now I would be remiss if I didn't thank some other people. As I said when I first stood up here, this is all about teamwork. It would have been a thrill for me to come up here with a flowing cape and announce that I, Savita Vaidhyanathan, could cure all your ills. But that's not true. Yes, I have my own ideas, beliefs, and opinions, but I'm not alone in this journey. So thank you to our city manager, David Brand, and his incredible staff. Our city attorney, Randy Holm, and his staff. I saw him here earlier. Thank you very much for all that your staff does with you at the leadership. And now our fair city couldn't do much if it weren't for our residents, the people who give up their time with their families and friends. Who are these people? Most of you are in this room, our commissioners, sister city members, neighborhood watch, block leaders, school district officials, many parents and volunteers. So I give you a round of applause. Thank you all very much. Thank you for your love and dedication to the city of Cupertino. And let me take this moment to thank the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce and the Rotary Club of Cupertino for their continued support of the city. It's not just the State of the City address. This has been a decades-long partnership with these two organizations and their city. And they complement the city's services and expand and enhance a lot of things that the city couldn't accomplish on its own. So thank you again. Let's give them another hand of applause. A personal thanks to all my friends here in this room and all over the city who continue to keep my spirits high. And where would I be without the unwavering support of my husband? So thank you all. And now I'm going off script a bit because I didn't want to put this in my script and tip them off. The video department and Brian Babcock have been spectacular in this entire process. So give them all a really big hand. Thank you. I'd like to leave you with these few words. American dream is not about an individual striving. It is a vision of a people, an aspiration of the most consequent civilization. There is a lot going on in our country. So although more important is this city, and that makes this room even more special. So please add your dreams and expectations to this pot. There's always room for more. There was rocks, pebbles, sand, and water. Where's the color? So please bring the color. And on your table, you'll see these little connectors. We all have different types of devices. We are different people. Yeah, we are in the city of Apple, but I know some of you have other products. So no matter which one you have, the city will work with you. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you.